Professor Wise.
Good morning, and thank you, Deanie. I appreciate that introduction, and I'll have to be sure to thank my mother, who obviously faxed over all of those details to stroke my ego. We're going to get the slides up here, and I know a number of you may be wondering, is Professor Wise his real last name? Is Professor Wise truly the name of someone? John, may I use my superpowers and get the slide deck on screen, please? Thank you. See, superpowers in action. So for those of you wondering, my name is Professor Wise. I teach at the Ted Rogers School of Management. This picture comes from my second book, which is available now at Amazon.com and bookstores around the world, called How to Be a Business Superhero. The idea of Professor Wise as a supervillain is one my students come up with. You may recognize this man, Dr. Doom, the enemy of the Fantastic Four, or this man, Dr. Evil from Austin Powers, or after I do my first midterm, some students say more like Dr. Death. But I am Professor Wise, it is my real name, and today I'm going to share with you, hopefully, some wisdom that I've picked up along the way. A little bit of background, quick show of hands. Who's seen the #1 show in Canada, Dragon's Den? Wow. And the rest of you, Dancing with the Stars? It seems that way. I've been involved with the show for 5 years. As you know, 2 weeks ago we launched our season premiere of our 6th season. You'll notice there's a little difference in years and seasons. CBC actually figured out that if they turn 2 seasons into 1 year, they could double charge the sponsors. So only CBC could get away with doing that and paying us half. When it comes to the show itself, my role is quite simple. I was asked to be a dragon. I did my online and on-air appearances, and the network came to the conclusion that I had a face for radio. As a result, they asked me to back up the lovely and talented Miss Diane Buckner as being the online host. So in season 1, which was 5 years ago, I did everything from helping the screen applicants, to being the capitalist and the communist CBC, to attending auditions, to helping the pitchers get organized, to getting some of the dragon material organized. Because when we started, CBC had never done a reality show, unless you call Hockey Night in Canada a reality. And it had just occurred that CBC was getting into what they call factual television. So they wanted some industry people. Now, my role over these years has changed. I still do write the blog. If you go on to cbc.com/dragonsden, you'll see weekly columns where I answer questions from our fan base. I'm very lucky and very blessed to work with the CBC, who, unlike Fox, tries to make sure that every hour of television has value for our community. The show itself, people don't know a lot about. It actually started in Japan in 2001. It was called Money no Toro, or Money Tiger, and it was about young entrepreneurs begging and pleading for the money they needed to succeed. Obviously, the show is still pretty much about that. The show really became popular when the British BBC took it and modified it, creating Dragon's Den. That's the show that the lovely Diane Buckner, Stuart Cox, and Tracy Ty, the producers of the show, used to bring it over to Canada. Before Canada, it was in Australia and New Zealand, and then it came over here, and we grew it. And we grew it and grew it. In our first episode, there was less than 500,000 people watching the show. In the last episode, we were the #1 watched show. That means we beat Survivor. I hope they vote that off the island. Dragon's Den itself, for those of you who haven't seen, is basically about this. Watch now as entrepreneurs from coast to coast to coast put their ideas behind multi-billion-dollar investors. Some will feel the fire, other will feel the funds. This is Dragon's Den. And now you know why they don't want me on TV. The show itself was so popular that it's gone on to go to Nigeria, to Poland, to Finland, to Sweden, to Russia. It appears in Israel. It's even been licensed for Afghanistan. I'm not really sure who's going to watch it, but that's a whole other story. I myself have to watch all of the shows as part of the industry advisor. So my job is to sit in the back room with the entrepreneurs and help them understand what questions they're going to be asked and help them focus on how much they should be asking from. And sometimes we succeed more than others. The show itself prides itself on not only highlighting some of Canada's great entrepreneurial stories, but helping people to understand what not to do, why some deals are born to fail. Because we're blessed to see 10,000 entrepreneurs a year. We shoot all of the episodes in May over 21 days from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Most pitches get about 45 minutes and have to be edited down. Of the 10,000 people who apply, maybe 300 go into the den over the 21 days. maybe 150 of those will show air. We have not yet made our first millionaire. Last season, our friends in Britain announced that someone from season 2, two young lads in a business about fridges and bars and university, seems like a good area to be in, had made the first millionaires, meaning individuals who had appeared on a show had since gone on to be worth more than $1 million personally. We're still working to get there, but every year we seem to be getting better and better.